Happy Friday, amigos. If you saw last week's video, you know what I'm up to right now. I am in the Winco parking lot in Oceanside, California. And the weather has forced me to stand down. I have the rebuild kit for my master cylinder. I have everything I need to do the work. I got an AutoZone right here for fluids. But everything's soaked, and the longest the rain holds off is like an hour before it comes again, sometimes real heavy. So the universe has said, dude, just stand down. Take a few days, because it's supposed to be rainy like this through Friday. Take a few days and catch up. Yeah, it's not the quintessential idyllic spot to be stranded, but it's logistically as ideal as it gets. It's crazy. I have everything I need here, even a laundromat. So I'm super blessed, and I'm embracing it, and I am doing some writing and researching, rebuilding my master cylinder. Haven't done that before, so I feel good about doing that. And in the meantime, I am standing down and listening to the universe tell me that it's time to just chill for a few days, dude. Because it's been go, go, go with travel and meeting up with friends and Tiny Fest and everything, which I loved all of it, but I also recharge in my solo time. Granted, I usually choose more beautiful places to do solo time, but man, when I rolled in here and my braking authority was virtually gone, almost nothing, I was so grateful to have pulled into this parking lot. So yeah, it's Wednesday when I'm recording this, so I've been here since Monday, and super blessed, and I'll keep you posted. I'm going to actually try to do some video of this master cylinder rebuild. Stay tuned, see if I actually do it. So I bought purchase protection, as I said, for my ticket to the SoCal Overland Expo this weekend that I will not be making now. And I made the claim, and they typically require documentation from a tow company or the mechanic's receipt or estimate for the work that they're doing when someone makes a claim of a mechanical thing. And I explained I do the work and I'm rebuilding the stuff, and they asked for some kind of documentation. I sent them the receipt for the tool I bought, the brake pedal depressor, and some pics. And they're awesome. With my explanation and some other links I sent and that stuff, they made an exception for me, and I so appreciate those guys. So I'll get my money refunded for the ticket to the event that I can no longer make. Oh, thank you. So what do you not want to see show up in the spot you've been parking at for the last few nights while stranded? That's right. A giant RV illegally parked. Illegally, I mean by taking up multiple spaces. That screams for attention. Needless to say, I'm scoping the parking lot for a different spot, because that thing cries out, "Come, talk to me." That bites. So I was bummed about that, but hey, worked out for the better. I found a much better spot, and I won't be camped up with the other folks living in their vehicles, which I think is a better move. It's obvious I'm just passing through, got Washington plates. I think it'll be fine. I talked to some locals who came over and talked to me, real sweet dad and his two kids. That was fun. They said, yeah, as long as your vehicle's in pretty good shape, Oceanside's pretty chill about you parking in the appropriate places. So 24-hour store parking lot, that's generally pretty okay. Well, man, I called it right about that giant RV. So I parked in a different spot. As you saw, I thought I had an ace spot. Just about 15 minutes ago, I got the knock. And it was a security guy, and I went up front, and At first, he was very gruff. I get it. He deals with this stuff. He says, you got to move. Didn't even say hello, just said, you got to move. I said, oh, man, okay, I understand, but I've got a problem. He says, you got to move. I said, I'm traveling from Washington. I'm from Washington State. I'm head north. I pulled into Winco on Monday, and my brakes failed. My master cylinder is dead, and I've been waiting for a part, which I have, and I've got that part now, to rebuild my master cylinder, and then I'll be on my way. And he says, you got to move. And I said, okay, can you tell me where I can go? My brakes barely function. I said, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure out what to do. And he started to, because I'm not fighting with him, I'm just saying, okay, but help me out. What do I do? And he says, okay, well, surveillance notified me that, yeah, you've been here since Monday. I'm like, wow. I didn't say wow, but I'm thinking, wow. He said, but I had to move a big RV just now, and we're just kind of moving people around. He said, because of your situation, he says, when will you be able to fix it? And I said, I should be able to fix it. I'm waiting on the weather now. I got the rebuild kit, waiting on the weather. And as soon as it stops raining, like if it's not raining tomorrow, I'll do it. He says, okay, you'll be gone by the weekend? I said, that is the plan. The weather's supposed to be nice by the weekend. He says, okay, I'm going to have you park in this other spot. And so he directed me to a spot to park. And he says, it's fine. You'll be fine there. So just get it fixed and be on your way as soon as you can. And he says, I appreciate you being respectful. You didn't fight with me. You were very honest and respectful, and that goes a long way. So, yeah, park over there. I directed another person over there, has a similar situation. I was like, okay. So, yeah, that giant RV, that brought down the security knocks big time, and it's gone now. So, yeah, that's never a good thing. But he took mercy on me. I'm so grateful. I was literally getting chills thinking, it's after dark. Where am I going to go? I'm on the top of a hill here. I don't have the brakes to go up or down. And so glad he had a heart, ultimately. So, yeah, woof. Dodged a bullet. That's the first knock I've gotten in a couple years, I think. Wow. It still sounds the same. That's basically it. Well, night was okay. Not my ideal preference of a spot in the slot, but hey, security let me stay, and I'm super grateful. And as predicted, the rain is pouring today. Hopefully lightening up tomorrow. It's supposed to be done by Saturday. Well, Saturday is supposed to be just partly sunny. I can work with that. I've got my rebuild kit. I have everything I need now to make all the repairs. So I just need the rain to stop. I got like 48 hours before that happens, so it's going to be a little more chill time in Hella. But what a beautiful sound. Don't know if you can hear that. It's an amazing thing to have shelter. You know, a lot of people think anybody who lives in a vehicle is homeless. And those who don't choose to live like I do in a vehicle, they are homeless, you know. But they have shelter. And shelter is the difference between life and death in a lot of situations. So if you got shelter, you're very blessed, you know. I certainly see the people who don't on the streets, and it's a terrible problem that I don't have the solution to. But anyway, I just feel so blessed to have this cozy little home that when I have to hole up, it's a nice place to be. It's warm, I can keep it warm, and it's not hard to do. I have a nice big bed, I have food. Tell ya, I feel wealthy to have the life I have. I really do. Anyway, little waiting game, wait out the weather, and then Saturday I'm on it with a bunch of repairs, and hopefully I'd be rolling after that. Hope you're having a good day. All right, I didn't see this coming. It is hailing now. Check that out. Okay, Southern California. You are tripping me out. It's the crazy thing. Like 45 minutes ago, it was blue skies and just some puffy white clouds in the distance. And I was seriously considering, because the forecast said, like 40% chance of rain this afternoon. I was thinking, wow, I've got a 4-hour block here maybe. The ground was almost dry, and now it's nuts again. So I made the right call. Sometimes you got to be patient. All right, so the boom has come down on me. One security guy today said I'm totally cool till Saturday when I can do the work. But the one tonight says, nope, you got to go. Don't be here when I come to work tomorrow. Sucks. So I've scouted around, walked the neighborhood, and I've found a route that's not steep that I can put in compound low and low range and just crawl on over there in the morning. Unfortunately, it's street sweeping tomorrow morning in that spot. So, but there's a Trader Joe's across the street, so I'll park at the Trader's. Street sweeping's done. Then I'll run on over and park on the street. And that's where I'll do the work on Saturday. So, thought I was going to have to pay for a tow somewhere, but I think I worked it out. So, it's wild. It's, I've gotten a taste of what it is to be living in a vehicle that's a little derelict. I mean, hell, it doesn't look like a derelict, but she has no stealth, so she catches a lot of attention. And it sucks when you're trying to lay low, because you can't. Not in an urban environment, so it's worked out. I mean, what are you going to do? You got to adapt. Okay, so success. I got up early this morning, pre-dawn, warmed up the truck, threw on the flashers, my special amber, whatever. As you know, I had to move the truck, and my brakes are down to like 20%. I mean, they're weak. And I found the least slope to drive out of that lot that I was in and go around the block. Basically, I had to drive about, third of a mile. And I'm currently parked at a Trader Joe's parking lot. And then the street parking where I can park for the night, right here. I've seen other nomads parked there, and it's also there's nothing saying you can't on the signs. So, but it's street sweeping this morning, so I gotta wait till that's done. Then I can go over to that spot, and no more worries with security guards. One was super cool, one wasn't so great, but they're just doing their job. I get it, and the word came down from their bosses. So what are you gonna do? But anyway, yeah, I was able to crawl down here in my compound low gear, and didn't have to touch the brakes going down the little hills, and it was fine. So that's a relief. I can relax a little bit. Big rain is coming today, so I can't do the work today. It's Friday. But tomorrow and Sunday look great. It should only take a few hours to make the repairs, so tomorrow. And I can rest well tonight knowing I'm perfectly fine parking where I'm parking for the night. So, it's been an interesting week. Well, I'm really happy to say I found an even better spot on the street to work that doesn't have street sweeping today. It's more level. I'm able to jam my wheel there, and what a relief. Okay, so hopefully I'll have her all fixed up tomorrow, but if not, I've learned my way around this neighborhood. I can do it, even with my current brake situation. And I know where all my resources are. Even if I had to have Midwest ship me a new master cylinder, there's a FedEx office here. So, my goodness. That's the deal when you break down and you're a nomad. You're in an unfamiliar town. You kind of have to figure out your resources on the fly and where everything is. And it's extra tricky when your brakes don't work. Well, I wonder, what would be worse? You know, I can at least move around because the truck runs. I don't know. Well, now I've had both. Oh my God, the weather is driving me nuts today. Friday was forecasted to be rain, and it's just sprinkled once for like 15 minutes. And I'm standing down. The ground isn't totally dry. Ugh. But I don't want to start these repairs if I can't complete them. Especially since I'm working in public and have to haul tools out and everything. Gah. Man, I'm getting a lesson in patience this week. I don't like it much, but okay. All right, so just talked to the FedEx office, and if I need John to send me a replacement master cylinder, if the one I've got isn't rebuildable, I can have him ship it there. That's awesome. But as I was walking here from where I'm parked, I picked up this. And I'll tell you, San Diego is proving, this whole area is certainly proving to be problematic for liveaboards, just like I've heard. And I hear it wasn't that way years ago, but it's getting there now. And what sucks is, I guarantee you, it's got to be like 99% of the people who choose to travel and live in a vehicle, they don't cause a problem, they don't make a mess, they're moving on. And the other group of people who are forced to live in their vehicles and work right in a place like Oceanside or Carlsbad or San Diego, 90% of those people don't make a mess either. You know, I get it about the derelict liveaboards who have, you know, all kinds of dependency issues, maybe mental issues. Those are the rigs that cause all the fuss, and rightly so. What I wish cities and municipalities would do is just enforce the laws, not in a blanket way to make it illegal to habitate in your vehicle, but illegal to cause the litter or the problems. You know, the things that we all know that some of them do that are health and safety issues for a community. Why can't they just enforce on those folks? Because, you know, 90% of your people living in cars or vehicles or what have you that aren't travelers, they don't want to be living like that. They're forced to live out of their vehicle. You start making it illegal for them to do that, that ain't right. Now if they're not causing a problem, you know, and I've sure experienced that vibe here, especially having a rig that's not running right. So it's frustrating to see happening, because like I said, 90% of us, we're good citizens. We patronize the businesses where we are, and we don't make a mess or cause a fuss. It's a bummer. So I'm reading this no camping article in the Coast News, and this one paragraph really hits me. Let's see, they're talking to one of the local county commissioners or something, and it's the person saying, yeah, this is not about criminalizing homelessness, but rather ensuring public safety and encouraging compliance from those who decline assistance. Assistant City Attorney Jennifer True said. So she's the Assistant City Attorney. Enforcement will continue to be paired with outreach, shelter access, and supportive services to ensure a compassionate response. So, yeah. You know, that I guess that's fine for people who are in the forced category, but it's not so great for, obviously, travelers who have, you know, opted, they're wanting to travel through. And now all of San Diego and these cities and municipalities along the coast are jumping in saying, nope, illegal to crash in your rig. Now they aren't saying if you're just passing through. So maybe a plate from another state makes a difference, especially if you don't stay put. They are talking about people who just live in their vehicles that stay put. Still, it kind of is criminalizing homelessness. You know, I mean, I would rather live in this rig than city provided, you know, super cheap apartment. I admit I'd rather. You know, it'd be more convenient to have a bathroom and a kitchen like that. But, you know, some people just like it. And even the pictures of the vehicles they showed aren't even derelicts. They're decent vehicles. So I think to a wealthy populace, any vehicle that isn't like 2020s on, to them, looks derelict to some degree. Okay, I got one more thing to say about this and then I will stop for now. And that is that in my almost 7 years of living like this, I have only talked to 4, maybe 5 people who expressed anger, frustration with, or basically told me that, you know, how I was living was criminal, or it was not socially acceptable. And each one of those people, all guys, all older guys, were grumpy probably to begin with. I don't know. They probably had a bad experience with someone on their street who was offensive or didn't do things right. I don't know. I don't know what they've experienced. But they've all made one point in particular that I find fascinating, and that is that I shouldn't have the right to do this because I don't pay taxes. And each time, and I don't get confrontational with people, but, you know, of course they're talking about property taxes. But when they give me a moment to speak, I remind them that, you know, while I'm passing through here, I am patronizing businesses. I am paying local taxes. You know, it's not like I don't pay taxes. Granted, I pay a lot less taxes than a property owner, but I don't pass through a town unless I literally roll through it. But if I spend a night, I'm probably hitting a grocery store. I'm probably getting a meal somewhere. It's not like you get nothing from people who live like this. And so that whole tax thing, that always grinded on me, because it's like, man, I pay taxes on my fuel, I pay taxes on everything, you know, that I'm buying. So that just doesn't hold water to me. They're just cranky, and I think in most cases not happy with their own lives and kind of resentful, especially to express that kind of opinion and anger with someone like me that I don't make any kind of a mess, and I'm friendly, and heck, I'm even doing this philanthropy thing, you know. So I don't know, I think some people just have a lot of regrets in their life. They end up very angry and bitter, and I think those are the 4 or 5 who have really come after me, just walked up on me, you know, at a spot and asked about the truck, and as soon as they figured out I'm living in it, just pooh, went off. Crazy. Alright guys, here we go. Rebuild that master cylinder first, then move on to other things. So you're not gonna believe this drama. Holy shit. So I went to rebuild the original master cylinder that I had, that I kept when I replaced it years ago. Got apart, feeling great about everything. Turns out the rebuild kit is for an 1/8 inch smaller bore than the one I have. So I'm like, okay, I can't rebuild this old one, so I decide I'll get under, take out the newer one that I think has failed, and see if the rebuild kit fits it. So I go get under, and I can't break those fittings loose to the replacement master cylinder that's in there, which is only 3 years old. I mean, it should be fine. I'm like, crap, and I know enough from experience not to keep trying. So I'm like, I'm gonna need a professional to get this apart, because my stuff isn't working, my tricks, and even the PB blaster. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll go ahead and pull off the wheel and the hub and replace that seal that I think is leaking in the left rear. I go do that, and there's no more evidence of that leak. So I'm like, I wonder if it's the new wheel cylinder. So with the drum off like an idiot, I start pumping the brakes. Overextends the wheel cylinder, but all of a sudden I got pressure all over the place and it's coming out where it shouldn't. And I hadn't tightened a fitting quite tight enough, is what it looks like. Because I put everything back together and now I have pedal pressure again. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So I'm going to put everything back together. Got a friend here who's going to pump the brakes for me. I'm going to do a bleed of my brakes and see where I'm at. Es mucho crazy. All right, guys, so obviously it's been a real long video because there were a lot of ups and downs over the course of the last week here in Oceanside. So I'm just going to outro pretty quick here and say thanks for being along for a journey. And if you watch this all the way, wow, I'm amazed. But I just wanted to say, you know, I was so stressed up in the parking lot at Winco as the days went by with what was happening with security and everything else. And I was just dreading being forced out, and then I got forced out. And all it took was, you know, a recon around, and I found a much better spot to be where I have every right to crash. No more security to deal with, you know. A much better place to work on the truck. Once again, proving that the thing I had great anxiety about, that I was fighting against and resisting, I got forced to do it, and I'm like in a way better situation now. Just amazing how that works out, and I'm grateful. So now I'm ordering parts, and it'll probably be like 5-6 days before I have them because they're coming from the Midwest. I made new friends yesterday who I'm getting to ship my parts to their house. Thank you guys so much. You're saving me. Everything's just working out. Now I'm going to have beautiful weather for the week, so I'm going to explore Oceanside on foot and on bus and bike for a few days because I can't do dang thing until then. My brakes are still pretty much shot. The master cylinder is the problem. It's confirmed. Talked to some people who really know their stuff. And so I can still just kind of cruise around. I'll move the truck around. I'm on the level pretty much. Couple different spots to be in parking lots, so it's all cool. And then when I get the parts, I'll go to it, fix her up and get rolling again. But hey, I'm blessed. I got my house wherever I'm at, so, and now I've got a place to be, so all good. Thanks for being along on the journey. I'll keep you posted on the repair. All right, better times ahead.